All right, it's 6:05, so I think we can we'll get started here. So welcome everybody. Again, my name is Erin Hill. I'm the chair of Greener JC. Welcome to our community meeting tonight. We're happy everyone could join. Hope everyone's being safe and is well during these kind of unique times. I know as all organizations and we've been struggling and figuring out the best path forward. And moving forward in these different times. So we're excited you could join us and we'll get started. So here's a quick meeting agenda for tonight. We're going to do a recap about Greener JC, what kind of we were up to this summer. And then we'll get into our main segment of community solar. We have our intern, Carolyn, who will give a little bit of a background, as well as we have Adrian from PowerMarket and Kevin and Yvette from Solar Landscape, two local companies that can give us a little bit more information and hopefully can answer a lot of your questions. So we ask that everyone does stay mute throughout the presentation and the meeting, and feel free though to please enter your questions in the chat, and we'll do a little Q&A at the end of the community solar segment, as well as we can answer some questions at the very end of the meeting after we talk about upcoming initiatives. So if you guys are ready, we'll get on started. I'm going to pass it over to Matt to talk about, who's our co-chair of Greener JC, and he'll talk about our 2020 initiatives.
All right, yeah, so to start off, one of our big projects this year, with all the craziness of 2020, we realized that there was going to be a little bit of a gap in some opportunities for students this summer. They had been in virtual school during the semester. There weren't many summer jobs. There weren't internship opportunities or other projects students can get involved in. So we decided to launch an internship program for Jersey City high school students this summer. So we put out put out that we were looking for interns, and we were kind of looking to foster the next generation of scientists and environmentalists in the city. And we got a ton of responses. We interviewed a ton of great students who were all interested in the opportunity to learn more about the environment and a bunch of different projects in the city they call home and go to school in. So we structured it as a 6-week summer internship program that was 60 hours, so about 10 hours per week. And the students did remote work, doing projects, reports, learning more, taking in a lot of readings and research papers and media to learn more. And then they also did in-person work. So being out in the green spaces of the city, being safe, and learning a lot through that. So we had 18 high school students, and we also had 3 students, college students from St. Peter's University. That was over the summer. And the 18 students, we broke up into 4 different projects for the summer. And each project had their own mentor who helped guide them through. Again, doing this both virtually and in person when the opportunities arose. And so that was that was the overall thing of our internship. And then we're going to break it into each segment with some of the mentors going over each project. So do we have a slide for the BioBlitz, Erin, or?
Nope, just you can give a brief rundown of it.
Absolutely. So I was the mentor for the BioBlitz project. We had 6 high school students for that project, and then the 3 St. Peter's students. So the BioBlitz is a community event. We launched it in 2019. So as a one-day event, and then continuing throughout the year, where people can go out as community scientists and make identifications of the flora and fauna that they find around them in the city, in our green spaces, and even just in their backyard. So documenting all the biodiversity that's around us in the city. So that was we started that in 2019, again, with like a 1-day event. This year, we weren't able to do that event because of everything, but instead we transferred that into the high schoolers. So the high schoolers were going out. They went to a lot of our different parks in the city and found some great biodiversity. I was one of their mentors, and then we also got a lot of assistance from Kenko Park Conservancy, teaching them about their pollinator gardens and all the wildlife benefits of those. We also had Lorraine and Bess, who manage Jersey City Birds, that led them on a nature walk of Lincoln Park, where they got to see, ospreys catching fish and a ton of other songbirds, and learn about some of the native trees and shrubs and everything in that park space. We also outfitted our interns with field guides and binoculars, and helped guide them through how to make identifications. So I think that's it. In the end, they all kind of compiled their results, and they did a research project at the end looking at the biodiversity differences between different city parks in different wards, different areas of different demographics and income levels, and looking at how the biodiversity shifts and what we can do better going forward. So I'll hand it off now to the next speaker.
Awesome. Yeah, so all of our interns' work is housed on our website as well as our YouTube channel. We have really great recordings of the students presenting their final scientific posters and papers. So the full breakdown of what they found and what they conducted in their research, you can find on our website. So the other teams besides BioBlitz, we had a birding group that went out to Cave and Point, and we partnered with the DEP, and we had a really great mentor, Purbita, who helped and really, gave the 3 students on that team the skills, and they conducted really great research and observations of the birds and habitat patterns in Cave and Point. So definitely check that out. As well as we had another pollinator study group that was led by our board member, Allison, as well as with help from Dawn from Kenko Park. And these students, they did a comparative study of, pollinators in one area where there was a lot of biodiversity and a lot of different pollinator plants. And they compared that to an area where there wasn't as much as a designated pollinator garden. And they reported their research on that. And then lastly, we had our environmental education and outreach team that was led by myself and Heidi. And these students, they each did a really fun Instagram takeover and really helped us boost our social media, as well as created a lot of brochures and graphics and blog posts from topics of, again, for pollinators, a lot of talk about plastic reduction, as well as some personal blog posts of how to stay healthy and active during COVID. So please check that out on our website. And so one more note before we head into the community solar, I'll pass it on to Heidi if she just wants to give a little recap about fundraising and social media.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
And see me, right? Good. So in social media, I lost my connection. In social media, we were able to about double our followings in Instagram. We have all social media. So we have Twitter, we have YouTube, we're on Facebook. We have been able to also fundraise about 14,000 this year. And from there, about 12,000 we've used mostly already. And most of that money has been used to pay for the students and kind of the list of what Matt wanted. You can follow us on all social media, and we are doing amazing.
Great, thanks, Heidi. So last thing is our recent events of fall 2020. We have some wonderful interns working on some really great projects. We have Carolyn, who's on the line, who will introduce the community solar topic. Our other students will be working on our partnership with the Office of Sustainability and kind of reinvigorating the Green Business Program, looking at materials and other resources that's already out there that our businesses in Jersey City can leverage to get certified, not only by the city certification program, but maybe take it to the next level and get certified by the states, as well as our interns are helping out with our general social media and graphics and flyers. So we're really appreciative of them. Great, so on to the main event of Community Solar. Again, if you have any questions throughout the presentations, please type them in the chat and we'll go over them at the end. So first up is our intern, Carolyn.
Not everyone can have access to solar energy. Many don't own their home's roof, or their roof may not support solar panels. Whatever the reason may be, now all Jersey City residents can utilize solar energy with community solar. The way a community solar works is a company will build a solar panel system in a location where they can receive optimum sunlight. This will likely be in an area near you, and the power generated from this will be supplied to the local power grid. When you subscribe to a site that is within your region, you will receive credit on your monthly electric bill for the energy produced from your share of the project. The energy that currently powers your home comes from the combustion of fossil fuels, which is harmful for the environment and isn't sustainable long term. So by subscribing to a community solar, you'll be supporting clean local energy. You'll also be saving money on your monthly PSE&G bills. The credit you receive for your share of the project will offset the total of your bill. PowerMarket and Solar Landscape are bringing community solars to our region.
Great, so now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'm gonna hand it over to Adrian from PowerMarket. And he's gonna do a little bit of a deeper dive into community solar, how you can sign up. So hopefully, Adrian, you can take over and share your screen.
Yes, just doing that right now.
Awesome.
Can you see?
Not yet. There we go. We can see. Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you to Greener JC for putting this together. I'm glad that we could do this, and I think I can speak for Kevin and myself when I say that we're certainly excited to see that there's interest in community solar, especially when I'm sure many of you have spent all day on Zoom. So thank you for adding another hour of Zoom to your day. So you may be familiar with us through some of our partnerships with other community organizations like Sustainable Jersey City, but if not, we're glad that you tuned in tonight. I won't reiterate exactly how community solar works, but if you like Aaron and Carolyn said, if you are confused or have questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the Q&A. But I do want to reiterate that signing up for community solar is more than just saving on your monthly electricity bill, which is great, but you're really contributing to or reducing pollution in the local community and helping to create high quality jobs. Prior to the pandemic, solar was the fastest growing employment industry in the country. So PowerMarket is a community solar management company. And what that means is we sit between the utility, the developer, and utility customers. So our job is to make sure everything within the community solar experience goes smoothly. And for you as utility customers, it means that we advocate for you on your behalf and help educate you on how community solar works and what the process is, and try to make your general community solar experience as painless as possible. We are a 6-year-old company from Brooklyn, currently operating in 7 states, mostly in the Northeast, with Illinois as an outlier there. We currently have over 25,000 subscribers in our system. And we have saved over the past 5 years about a little more than $600,000 for our subscribers across 100 projects. But what we're most excited about is that through our work, we've helped get 300 and maintain and put 35 million kilowatt hours of renewable energy on the grid, which is about 500,000 trees or 2.8 million gallons of gas that have not been burned. Now, community solar differs slightly state to state, but what we are particularly excited about in New Jersey is the fact that it's specifically designed, this program is specifically designed to improve access to communities who are often overlooked. So rooftop solar, which is great and it's helped a lot of people, can be costly and have logistical hurdles, and you need to be a homeowner. And this project in New Jersey has a specific carve out for low to moderate income households and families. And so 51% of each project has to have low to moderate income households subscribed, and they also see increased savings. So we are working with Harts Mountain, some of you may know, to launch the first 4 community solar projects in the state. Now our projects are in Jersey City, Secaucus. I'm sorry, that should be Jersey, North Bergen, not Secaucus for Doremus, and Newark. And you don't have to live in that specific municipality to join, but so certainly tell your friends and family. What is great is that if you live in a surrounding municipality, you're eligible. And what we like about community solar is that you can drive down the street or across town and see how you're sort of tangibly a part of the green energy revolution. So the part where it's always confusing is how does billing work, and we can get more into this in the Q&A, but really simply for the energy credits that your portion that you receive for your portion of a community solar project, you are billed while saving 10 to 15%, and that's variable, and I'll get more into that in a second. But so if you pay $100 a month, you will end up paying $85 or $90 as part of your membership in these programs. And it's variable because if for low to moderate income households, they see savings of 15% a month, and non-low to moderate income see savings of 10% a month. So we are excited to be a part of this program and help bring community solar to your community. This can be confusing. If you don't want to ask questions in the Q&A, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help and educate. I will pass it on to Solar Landscape.
Great, thanks so much, Adrian. So next we'll hear from Kevin, who is the COO of Solar Landscape, and Yvette, who is the Community Outreach Coordinator. So let me stop sharing and I'll hand it over to you guys.
Let me see.
Great, we can
Thanks,
see
Aaron. I
your-
appreciate it. I'm going to start off and turn things over to Yvette in a couple minutes. I just want to start by thanking Aaron and Matt and everyone at Greener JC. Educational events like this are important. There's been misinformation and questions about this, so I think things like this couldn't be more timely. I want to thank Adrian for doing a great job, I think, explaining everything that's going on. Before I start, one of the things that I don't want to cover anything that Adrian did cover because I thought he did a nice job with it. So we're going to subscribe about 900 people in and around Jersey City in our projects. I think PowerMarket is about the same. So the wonderful thing here is, and I think Adrian would agree, everyone should go online. Everyone should look at this. Everyone should have the opportunity to just go online today and go green. And there's plenty of this to go around. Now, this is the first round of community solar in New Jersey. It's part of a 3-year pilot program. 252 applications were applied for, 45 were approved. We were fortunate. We're slightly different in the way that we're built, we're actually the developer and we're also subscribing the projects. So we will be building them, constructing them, subscribing them, and owning them long-term. One of the things that I think is important that we haven't talked about yet, the whole idea behind community solar and the legislation was this idea of environmental justice, of taking communities that had been marginalized previously and helping them clean up their environments while at the same time offering energy savings to their citizens. And I think that's kind of what we're doing in and around Jersey City, both us and the folks over at Harts Mountain that PowerMarket is subscribing. So I'll just cut right to the chase here. These are our approved community solar projects. In the first round, we were fortunate. We got most of the rooftop, or a little more than half of the rooftop that were approved. These are the 3 projects that folks can subscribe to who live in Jersey City. We have one in North Bergen, one in Teterboro, and one in Woodridge. All of our projects are completely built and we are subscribing them. They're ready to go, except for one, the one down in Pennsauken on Westfield Avenue, which is right up here. That's a church. And there's some carports, et cetera. So that's going to take a little bit longer to do. So we have 7 projects that are up. We are real proud of the work that we're doing because we're the builder, as well as the subscriber and the owner. We got these things done really quickly, particularly because we're up against COVID and some other things. So our website, as Erin said, is gosolarlandscape.com. That's where you can find out more about the projects, both on our site and PowerMarket. I think do a really nice job, both sites, of frequently asked questions. So I encourage people, if you have more questions, to go on there and take a look. So let's talk about the environment for a second, because that's why everyone is involved. And I want to just say to everybody, I congratulate all of you for the seriousness that you take in kind of our collective responsibility as far as climate change goes and doing the right things within our communities. So our projects will prevent 17,500 metric tons of CO2 from entering local atmospheres in New Jersey. That's important. Our projects will subscribe in the first round 3,000 homes, again, 900 in and around Jersey City. Adrian said a couple things about the job opportunities that have happened as a result of solar and renewables in New Jersey, and that continues. And one of the things that we committed to in our first round was to do job training across New Jersey. And in spite of COVID, we trained more than 100 students, more than a few who we are now employing. Yvette came through our job training program, through our college portion of that, who you'll hear from in a second. This is Manny. He's one of the students that we trained. The people who we trained to do the install, they're making $62, $63 an hour. That's a family sustainable wage because our projects are over 1 megawatt each of them. So those are kind of, when you're talking about the size of projects, those are the type of wages that these students are making. There's a couple parts to our training for those of you who are interested. For people who want to get an ABCEP certification, which is an industry certification, we do that. We do that training. We do that tuition free, and we also offer the opportunity for you to get the testing done, and we pay for that as well. So anybody that's interested in finding out more about the training, becoming a solar professional, you can go to Kate at Solar Landscape. It's down here at the bottom, or go to our website and take a look at our training program. Yvette, I'm going to turn it over to you just to talk a little bit about how easy it is to subscribe to these projects.
Perfect. Thank you, Kevin. So this is our landing page for subscribers. It's gosolarlandscape.com, and this will be the first page you see. It does a really good job at explaining, again, like Kevin said, all these questions that people have around community solar. And from our subscriber website, you can access it in English and Spanish to go into subscribing to any one of our projects. If you could, Kevin, go to the next one. Perfect. So for subscribers across the board, like Adrian said, everyone in New Jersey is offering a 10% discount for everyone, and then an additional 5% discount for low to moderate income communities. So that's one of the benefits to subscribers. In addition to that, We are offering no long-term contracts or hidden fees to start or cancel your contract. And subscribers get to be a part of making Jersey City more sustainable. In addition to that, I believe PowerMarket also offers a $100 Visa gift card, but we're offering a $100 Visa gift card as well, in addition to a $100 donation to local environmental organizations for every subscriber that subscribes to our projects. So these are a couple of benefits for the subscribers and the overall community in Jersey City when you subscribe to community solar projects. And if you can go to the
Just talk about third-party energy for a second.
Oh, true. So one of the biggest misnomers, or one of the biggest issues in terms of solar in New Jersey, or just any type of energy in New Jersey, is third-party energy. They've sort of made it harder for us to be able to educate people on community solar because the way that they ran their business models, that they bought energy and then resold it into the community. And that's not at all what community solar is. Community solar is making and generating this energy and then selling it to the community. So this is a whole new initiative by the state, and it's overseen by the Board of Public Utilities to make sure that nobody's taken advantage of, and that all the promises to these communities are kept, including the discounts that they stay throughout the entirety of the project, and all of these like long-term contracts and promises that we've all made. And the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the opportunity for anyone you know, or if you're interested in becoming a community solar ambassador with Solar Landscape, we would love for you to join us and advocate for environmental justice, lower energy prices, and clean air in your communities. And if you're interested in all of that, please contact me at yvette@solarlandscape.com, and I'd love to get you involved with that. All right.
And just to sum this thing up, if you want to read a great piece on this, NAACP did a white paper, and basically what the conclusion of that was, it's called COAL, C-O-A-L, blooded, is that communities of color breathe air that's 40% less healthy than other communities. If you go to their website, the NAACP website, We Inherited the Sun is a great op-ed that's written specifically about New Jersey community solar and all the good that it's going to do. So I think if you can help us educate the public, what we're looking to do here is get people to understand it's not third-party energy. And I think PowerMarket and Solar Landscape, without question, one of the things we want people to understand is you can get into this program. If you're unhappy with it, you can get out of it. There are no long-term contracts, but you can suddenly, you have the opportunity to go online. Within 5 minutes, you're subscribed and you're 100% green. And we couldn't be any more excited about this. So environmental impact, job training, made within your community, and discount electricity and environmental justice for all. And really that's what this whole thing is about. So once again, we appreciate everybody being online and help us spread the word about these wonderful projects. Thanks, and thanks Adrian, and thanks to Greener JC.
Thanks so much. Does anybody have any questions? Even if you feel free to type it in the chat, or you should be able to unmute now if you would like to ask a question.
This is Bill Armbruster. I have a question. Does this community solar apply solely to electric, or does it apply to gas, our gas bills as well?
This is just for electricity, Bill.
Thank you.
And correct. Even if I, like myself, live in an apartment, I don't need any permission from, my landlord if I pay my own PSE&G bill. I can just log on and sign up, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions? Even Greener JC board members, feel free. I know it's all new to us.
One of the things I'll just add about New Jersey is New Jersey is so behind this program, the governor, the legislature, the Board of Public Utilities, that in the first round, they allocated 75 megawatts. So think about If it was rooftop solar, maybe 75 target, think about a Target store, 75 targets, right, that had solar on the roof, so 75 megawatts. For round two, the state announced that they're allocating 150 megawatts. So there'll be twice as many projects built in round two. You'll probably start to see them and see more and more solar and hear more and more about community solar. In round three, we're not sure how much the BPU will allocate, but we do know at the end of round three, the state will eventually, based on best practices from the first 3 years, make some determinations about a permanent community solar program in New Jersey.
I have a question for Adrian about, in your presentation, you showed Caven Point as one of your locations in Jersey City. Where exactly are those solar panels at Caven Point?
Like, what is the exact address, or?
No, but I mean, because Caven Point, I've only been there a couple of times, but and I know, of course, it's part of Liberty State Park, and there's a huge controversy, but I don't think there are any buildings there, or are there? And so, where do you have?
So, you know, I don't have the exact address, but what I can tell you is they are all rooftop systems that exist on warehouses. So this would be, I don't know what this warehouse is per se off the top of my head, but you know, this is a large warehouse with an open rooftop in the Caven Point area.
This is Alexander Marescu jumping in, and when good to see some old friends here, and good to see you, Bill, my old dear friend, as well as Matt Trump and a couple others. When you drive west from 78, just a little bit before the exit to Bayonne, and if you look to the west, be like to the northwest, to the right as you're going westward, you can see all the solar panels that are facing south. It's quite an impressive amount. And if you didn't notice it before, they might have been up there for a while, but the vegetation might have covered it. But now with the oncoming winter, I noticed it the other day, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, thanks for that clarification, Alexander.
Great. Anybody else have any other questions, comments? Again, I think this is a great program, and we all should try to spread the word about it. It's local clean energy, supports low to moderate income, super easy to sign up. And like we said, there's plenty to go around. So please share with your friends, family. Obviously, a lot of your guys' projects is located in the North Jersey, but like you said, anybody in the PSE&G territory can really subscribe, and PSE&G goes all the way down to South Central Jersey. So thank you. Oh yeah.
I'd like to ask a question. Oh, pardon me. Sorry.
I was just going to add, there are other projects that are being developed across the state outside of PSE&G. So if you have friends or family who live in other utility territories, I know that they can, do a quick Google search to find out what community solar projects are being developed in their community, in their utility territory.
Great.
So this is Alexander again. I just had one quick question. I'm the president of the Powerhouse Arts District Neighborhood Association in downtown Jersey City, and I've been putting together some information. We'd eventually like to have a neighborhood association meeting with our board members and neighbors, and I'd like to possibly have a couple different renewable energy options to be presented, so we can start sharing this with our residents and with our board members. If anyone knows the Powerhouse Arts District, it's the part of Jersey City that has the lowest amount of tree canopy, so it's in the low single digits, appallingly, really appallingly. We have no park space or no identifiable like green space, nothing immediate. And we're one of the most rapidly urbanizing spaces not only in Metro New York, but in the US. And not to mention that we're the lowest part of the city. So we are at the forefront of multi-hazards, urban heat, stormwater, sea level rise, surge, and a lot of our neighbors are very sensitive to making the right decisions and investments for sustainability. So if you, I guess my question is this something that we can field or we can bring to the neighborhood associations or to one neighborhood association to advance public awareness?
Absolutely.
Definitely, I
We
can.
appreciate that and would love to help.
Yeah, I can help coordinate the exchange of email addresses and, help coordinate another meeting like this specifically to one of the association meetings. I think it's perfect synergy.
Splendid, thanks. Yeah, I'd look forward to that. Thank you.
Alrighty, I think that'll do it for Community Solar. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Kevin and Adrian and Yvette for sharing your stories. We'll continue to spread the word, and you can please visit GreenerJC /Community Solar to, get in contact with PowerMarket or Solar Landscape, or you can reach out to them directly. We'll just move on quickly to a few more future notes about GreenerJC. But thank you again for the community solar work. Alicia, do you want to chat? Are you on?
Hi, everybody. This is Alicia with GreenerJC. Yes, I can speak to some of our future work. So we are continuing our blog writing on our website. Our interns will be writing a lot of different posts for us in the upcoming weeks. We're also looking into 2021 as well as providing pollinator garden resources, both for our website and also for the community. And we're also very appreciative of our volunteers and our donors who have supported us throughout 2020 as we look to the future.
Great. And last thing, don't forget to mask up. That'll do it for the meeting. If anybody has any other questions, or feel free about GreenerJC, welcome to chat. Or
I just have one quick thing I wanted to add.
Yeah,
And,
of course.
For your team here, and maybe anybody who might be interested, all of the projects that we built, one of the things we agreed to do, and part of what the BPU asked us to do, was to do the native pollination, which was, of course, we're a solar developer, right? So we hired some people to do that. We've taken the soil samples. It's actually pretty interesting. They've been sent away and analyzed, so they'll tell us what to plant. And so if you have anyone on your team or some of your interns, I'll reach out to some of the other organizations as well who want to participate in that and be part of it. We'd love to share that. I think probably of our executive team, probably 4 or 5 of them are former teachers, including myself. So yeah, I'll speak with you about that offline, but yeah, we are doing a lot of the pollination and it's real interesting.
That's great. Let's see. Awesome. And Bill just shared his meeting in the notes, so you're welcome to join that as well. Thanks, Bill. But yes, that's exciting. Would love to learn more about the solar and pollinators. Anybody else have any last parting words? If not, I know we're all busy and we all have some more Zoom meetings later. So thanks again, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate you. Thanks again to PowerMarket and Solar Landscape. I'll connect with some other people to see how we can continue the community solar conversations and meetings.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.